Greetings, adventurers. This is Valinet from WoWGoldTitans, and since the Hallows End world event is happening, I wanted to make another guide so that you can all enjoy the new zones, the fancy decorations, and how to get your title, the Hallowed. So you're going to have to complete all of the achievements listed on Hallowed Be Thy Name. One of them is called Bring Me the Head of Wait, and this requires you to kill the Headless Horseman. You're going to use the dungeon finder and queue for the Headless Horseman, or talk to one of the NPCs in Orgrimmar or Undercity to queue for the dungeon. It's a fairly simple fight. You're going to need 1 tank, 1 healer, 3 DPS. If you are a caster and you know how to, or you have a healing spec, actually you don't even need a healing spec, but if you're a caster that has healing spells, say like a shaman or a moonkin druid, you could probably get by going into the dungeon queued as a healer, because there's not too much damage that goes out. The tank doesn't take too much. The Headless Horseman hits like a wimp, and there's not too much to the fight. You know, you attack the Headless Horseman, his head flies around, you hit the head, then his head goes back on the body, and you go back and forth between the body and the head. Summons the pumpkins. They do a little AoE damage, but not to anything exciting. He will drop some nice 365 rings, so if you're still gearing up your tunes, definitely go and get those rings, farm for them. You can get the once a day loot just the first time, but you can get the rest of the items no problem. Alright, so one of the other achievements is called Out With It, and it says to eat a whole bunch of tricky treats until you throw up, just like that. So go around to the different inns, do your trick-or-treating, and then easily you'll have enough tricky treats to eat in a row to throw up. The other one that's showing on the screen now is called Rotten Hollow. You're going to have to do 4 daily quests, and you're going to have to do each of them once. The first one there is a time to build up, which is just to burn the Wicker Man and use its ashes as face paint and show your pride. The others are a time to break down, which is to douse the fire of the Alliance's Wicker Man, and 2 others, which will be on the screen later. Alright, this achievement is called the Masquerade, and it requires you to be transformed into all 8 available transformations. So get a friend, or in my case, I see you can find a random person, and you're just going to exchange using wands on each other. And you can right click and remove the costume, because some of them you can't cast or mount up, but a lot of them are pretty cool, like the ghost and the ninja and the leper gnome. You can actually walk around and do spells and stuff. Skeleton's probably one of my favorite. If you can see in my bag there's next to the wands, there's a whole bunch of toothpicks, and as you trick-or-treat around, you're going to be given these toothpicks. And if you use one of them, you'll get a required achievement called That Sparkling Smile. And it's very easy, just use the toothpick once. Alright, so there you see the Masquerade completed. And now one of the other quests you have to do is called Clean Up in Undercity. You have to remove 10 stink bombs that the Alliance put in the town. Just run around, use the item on it, and if you do happen to run through the stink bomb, you'll see that your character will smell, and if you use the stink bomb removal item on yourself, you'll get rid of that smell. Just some interesting facts. The wands from the previous achievement, if you don't get them from trick-or-treating, you can go to a vendor in Undercity at the Wicker Man, and you can use your tricky treats from your trick and treating to buy the wands that you're missing. You can also do that for the mass to get another achievement, but it is not required for the title and the meta achievement. It's just another achievement that says collect all 24 mass. Pretty simple. Alright, so the other quest is Stink Bombs Away. You talk to one of the NPCs, they'll send you on a flying broom, and you're going to go all the way to Stormwind, and you're going to drop 25 stink bombs. So now the key to this is you have to drop the bombs near an NPC or near a player. Alright, it's got a 3-second cooldown. It's a little bit tricky at first to get your bombs timed to land on NPCs, but you know, just take your time. You're gonna go on a loop around the city as long as it takes you to do the 25, and then once you do the 25, you're gonna hit the button 6 to return to the Undercity. So it's a nice way to scout out Stormwind for one of the later achievements, which is check your head. And while you're trick-or-treating, you're gonna get these pumpkins, weighted jack-o'-lanterns, and you're gonna have to throw them at all 12 races. 6 for the Horde, 6 for the Alliance. So you can go into Battlegrounds, or you could come over here to Stormwind and, you know, slash target dwarf or whatever, slash who, see who's there, or just fly around. And just make sure to watch out for the flying NPC guards. Alright, so there's 25. Fly around a little bit just to see what's going on, and then finally return to the Undercity to turn in the quest. Alright, so then the other quest, Time to Break Down, which you need to douse the flame of the Alliance Wicker Man, you're going to have to fly there yourself. There's no quick path. Alright, you're going to have to use the item that it gave you, and since you are in Stormwind, Elwyn Forest, you may or may not be flagged for PvP depending on your server, so just be careful. Fly away or Hearthstone out, and there you have it. The Wicker Man is no more. He's just a man. He's no longer wickering. So one of the other achievements that you have to do is called the Savior of Hallows End. Alright, and this one you're going to have to use the water bin to get a water bucket and throw it on the fire. Alright, I suggest starting with one building at a time and communicating with the fellow players around you. If you're a druid or a shaman, you can do your shapeshift and move a lot faster and still use the items. You won't break form and have to go in and out. Alright, if you're pretty accurate, you can try to make the water land on several of the fire flames at once, or, you know, go slow and steady, but you are timed. If you do not finish fast enough, the Headless Horseman will escape and the town will burn. Alright, so I'm doing this in Brill, as you can see. It's pretty populated because a lot of the quests and vendors for the rest of the event are in Undercity. So it's, you know, you can do this in the Blood Elf starting zone and the Orc starting zone, Troll starting zone, Razor Hill, but there may not be as many people depending on how your server acts. So you can even use the tricky treats to move faster. It gives you a little adrenaline boost, and every time you use it you go 4% faster, but if you eat too many of the tricky treats, you will become nauseated and you won't be able to eat anymore. You'll be debuffed. Alright, so defending the town gives you a daily quest, which gives you a crudely wrapped gift and some stuff. Alright, so as you're trick-or-treating along, here is pretty much every single inn you have to go to. You get to go to, and every inn is at a flight path. Alright, so you're going to go to every flight path in Eastern Kingdoms, every flight path in Kalimdor, and every flight path in Outlands. Alright, the Northrend and Cataclysm achievements are bonus. They do not count for the meta. And while you're doing this, you're going to pick up a lot of tricky treats. You're going to pick up a whole bunch of wands, a whole bunch of mass, and you might also pick up the Hollowed Helm, which is the pumpkin on my head there, which is part of the Sinister Calling achievement, and the Sinister Squashling you might pick up. So if you can find it, you can get the Sinister Calling achievement. If you don't find it, you just use the treats as currency to buy the pet that you're missing, or the head. Alright, there is one more that you need to do. Here's my character completing the last one in Outlands, getting Outlands and Azeroth. So now I've only got one achievement left to show you. It's called check your head, which, you know, throw the weighted pumpkins on people. You know, your faction, Horde ones, will be a lot easier to get because you can just go to your own town. But the other ones, you can go into a battleground, or you can go to Stormwind, which I've done here. I've gone to Stormwind and I threw a bunch around, and I'm looking for my last Worgen target. And the final achievement you have to do is very easy. One of the items you get from trick-or-treating is called Nerd Candy. You're going to eat that, and then go into PvP, get 10 honorable kills, bang, Nerd Rage. So as you can see, this event is not all that hard, just takes a little bit of time, especially the traveling around for the trick-or-treating. So there's the Hallowed title, and I hope you guys enjoy Hallows End in World of Warcraft. Later!